So just to give you a little bit of context behind this new video series, basically I had a former YouTube channel where I shot a couple of good workouts, and then I started this new channel under a new brand. And basically I had a bad injury at work a few months back where I was basically sat down for 13 or 14 weeks and told I couldn't go to the gym. They took me out of the underground environment in the mine where I work and had me doing office work. That was pretty depressing. Put on a little bit of weight, had my hand in a cast for many weeks, and I could only train legs. So I made the most of it and held on to a fair bit of leg size, but obviously the upper body, it went backwards pretty quickly. So I've decided to come back with a very ultra minimalist approach. I'm only training once every 8 days, and I'm doing 5 exercises in every workout. And basically I'm using an A-B split. I did start off with just a single split, so I do the same workout every week, once per week. But I decided that I needed to pick a few more exercises to round out the development, and so I introduced a B split. So every 8 days I'll be doing a workout, but it'll take 16 days before I repeat the A split and or the B split. So I'm kicking off with the incline dumbbell press. Obviously you can see my right hand's lagging somewhat. A lot of the coordination and strengths really come out of that side where I did the injury. But by doing these exercises that forced me to work independently, I'm hoping to bring all those things up. So slow controlled cadence of 4-4, 4 seconds to raise the weight, 4 seconds to lower the weight, and a 6 to 10 rep range. So with a once per week workout, basically you're looking for economy with your exercise selection, so stick to big basic mass builders. I do have the odd isolation exercise in there for detail, but basically it's all big compound movements. So with this exercise, it's taking care of the lats as well as the bicep development. So I don't have any direct work for biceps, so this is my only opportunity, and that's why I've used a reverse grip, which really makes those biceps feature strongly in the lift along with the lats. So with this exercise, 4 seconds to pull the weight down, 2 seconds to hold in the contracted position where you really want to squeeze that weight, and then 4 seconds to lower under control. So it's all about being smooth, having momentum, and grinding the weight out. You don't want to be snapping weights because that's how you're going to hurt your joints. And for me in particular, with that metacarpal injury, it's really important for me to do the exercise in such a way that it's focusing on the muscles. They're doing the work, and the bone and ligament structure, it's not under so much pressure from heavy jerking and snapping the weights around. That's only going to cause injury, and it's going to actually take strain off the muscle. So as I approach failure, the grip in my right or my injured hand is really struggling. So I have to give up the lift a little bit premature, possibly where my lats and biceps are failing. But to get around that at the moment, I'm just using rest pause. So basically take it as far as I can take it before my grip fails. Have a few seconds to wiggle the arms around, have a deep breath or two, and then get in there again and take it to failure. So that little bit of a gap there doesn't give my lats full time to recover, but it's enough to get my grip just a little bit more enhanced to take the set a little bit further. Obviously at the moment, I want to encourage my grip and my forearm to be rehabilitated coming back from injury. So I'm keeping the straps out of everything at the moment, just to speed that process along. Because I'm using an A-B split, I decided that because I didn't have any direct sort of shoulder work, like an overhead press today, that I'd do a bit of side head work. But I've always found this exercise frustrating when repping in the traditional manner, because I find it hard to be consistent because it's got a sort of strange strength arc. So I've decided to just use the static hold where I hold the weight perpendicular to the floor and time it, so 40 to 60 seconds, and then I go up in weight. Okay, here again I'm using some isolation exercises to work the calves. Obviously you don't have much of a choice when it comes to calf exercises, so I use a seated calf in this split, and then in next week's split I'll be using a standing calf raise. So basically when I do exercises that have a small range of motion, I shorten the cadence a little bit. So instead of using a 4-2-4 cadence like my other previous exercises, I'm just using a 2-2-2 cadence. So because that range of motion, it's so small, it's really impractical to take 4 seconds to do it. So do 2 seconds instead. Do your 2 second static hold at the top and squeeze the hell out of those calves, really get them stimulated, and then 2 seconds to lower the weight under control. With my leg exercises, lower body exercises, I'm using a 12 to 20 rep range. As you approach failure with the calves, it can be quite a painful exercise, and lower body exercises in general are quite hard, but you want to just keep going, keep grinding away. And then once you can't get any full reps, start doing some partials. Don't write them down, don't count them because they're not proper full reps, but just keep banging away. Even if you can only get halfway up, just keep going till you can't move any further, and really just take them to that proper point of failure. You're probably not going to injure yourself doing anything in this style like you would maybe with some other exercises if you pushed it past technique failure. So deadlifts are something I haven't advocated in a very long time. I haven't done in a very long time due to an old injury I did years ago prior to the HIT days. But I've decided that because I'm using this minimalist approach, I've got no direct trap work, I've got no lower back work, and I just found that doing leg press only was leading to a lot of good sort of quad development, but a lot of parts of my body were being neglected. So in the AB split that I've introduced in the last week or two, I've thrown the deadlift in there as my alternating exercise with the leg press, and that's going to sort of work all of that posterior chain with the hamstrings and the glutes, lower back, and a little bit of trap activation. Obviously not as good as some direct work for the traps, but it really does cover a lot of ground, this exercise. Very good in terms of how it stimulates the body overall. But for me, I'm a little bit gun shy with it, so I'm just taking it easy, slow controlled. I don't go super slow, but basically it's around the 2 second up and down mark for me. But again, I'm not going to failure. I'm stopping a little bit shy, and I've just sort of set myself a goal of increasing 1 or 2 reps each week, 6 to 10 rep range, and go from there. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, share and subscribe, and tell your friends about this new HIT training channel.